Hello, welcome to McBoss Capital channel, and my name is Michael Chu. This is the US stock market recap video for the week ending January 23rd, 2026. We can see the Nasdaq Composite Index here on the weekly chart. We did have a slightly down week, not by much, 0.06%. We did come down hard on Tuesday at the opening there after Trump administration announced possible increase in tariff in some of the EL countries that are kind of protecting Denmark, Greenland, sorry, and that includes Denmark and other EU countries. But it did rebound on Wednesday after Trump mentioned that they have come up, had a security framework around that, maybe some way of protection or something. So from that perspective, we bounced. So here is the daily chart. Again, Tuesday we dropped really significantly down below the red line, which is the 50-day moving average. So at that moment, things does not look good. However, with the Wednesday news, it bounced back, and we've been falling through on that so far. Like, we came back above the 10-day right there, and now we above it. So and Friday, even though it was pretty weak closing, but overall we still end up above the 10 days. So we can see we came up in the morning of Friday, but we came back down throughout the rest of the day, and right now we still kind of, like I said, near the 10-day moving average, but it still look pretty good. It's above it slightly, and after tested the low here, usually that is good sign, right? Usually we bounce back somewhat. So we'll see if this can follow through. We have this upper channel line here that is probably more significant here. We broke the downtrend channel line here this week, but like I said, we came back right away. That's usually exactly what you want to see. When they bounce back right away, usually you want to trust that, because that seems to happen quite often in a continuing rally, and so we usually do see the bounce back, and we want to trust that. So we'll see. We're still stuck in this pendant formation. We'll see if we can come through this, but obviously with more earnings result, especially big mega cap tax coming out this week, we're gonna see more movement possibly in the Nasdaq area. Next here we have S&P on the weekly chart, and again very similar. As the difference here is it went down below 10-day, but also very quickly came back. 10-week moving average, the red line, and then it came back right after, and we near the top of the range for the week. So again, a healthy bounce, a healthy come back from the coming down up below the 50-day line, and be able to come back up pretty fast here. So that is a good sign. So on daily chart, again, you see Tuesday a big drop, Monday was a holiday, and then Wednesday we see the huge rebound. Thursday and Friday it didn't move much, but it is still holding tight. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. So it's trading near the 10-day, the green line here. So this is the bottom channel here. So if we can find support, that was a good sign, and we can go from here to make new high. That'll be even better. On the weekly chart for Dow Jones Industrial here, we also see a bounce. It didn't close at the top of the range, but it still trade above the red line here. It's been on a nice uptrend rally here for a while now, and again we seem to be finding support here. Let's look to the daily chart. Tuesday we came down pretty hard again. That's below the 21 pink line. Then we come back on Wednesday. On Thursday we come very close to a high again, but then Friday we got knocked back down yesterday on Friday here. So looks like we've seen some weakness here on Dow Jones. But volume did come in lower for the day than previous day. So we'll see if we can find support around this level. It is a critical level, I think. If we don't find support here, 21, we'll probably drop back to the red line here as well. So we'll see what happens. Here's the Russell 2000 index on the weekly chart. We are still sitting nicely above the red line. We're coming up pretty strong. We did see also another bounce here of the low on the week. Again, that would be a Tuesday. Let's go to the daily chart. So this is on a very steep uptrend right now, this index. So here we go. We pulled back on Tuesday, and it was still somewhat above the 10-day that day. and then on Wednesday, Thursday we bounced back really strong. Again, just like Dow, Friday it was giving up some gains here by the end of the day, so that is kind of negative. So you know, we didn't see the support like what we saw with S&P and Nasdaq, and even Dow. Like, so it didn't come back from the bottom. It would have been better if we closed, you know, in the half range or something. But you know, it is what it is. So we'll see what happens next week. Again, earnings season is coming out. Lots of those results will affect the stocks, how they move. We're probably going to continue to see volatility. You can see here, it gave back 1.8% for Russell on Friday after having a nice run on Wednesday here and a fall through on Thursday. So we continue to see volatility. Overall, the trend is still up. You look at the Greenland 10-day moving average, it is still sloping up at almost a 45-degree angle, like maybe more than that. Really strong action here. Here's the innovator IBD 50 ETF here. We had a really good week, mainly thanks to a lot of gold and silver stocks, I believe. And let's go to the daily chart. So it is coming back on the right side of the base, and you can see even Tuesday it didn't go down much. Wednesday it came down a little bit. Thursday, Friday it kind of continued to make higher highs here and higher lows. So that's a good sign. This is looking better. So in terms of the market indication here from IBD, it's still at the 60 to 80% allocation. It did drop from last week's Friday 80 to 100% allocation after Tuesday's distribution day right there, both 5 on Nasdaq and S&P. So that was a lot of distribution. But by Wednesday, you can see the rebound start to happen with more accumulation in the stocks versus distribution, and then more accumulation in the industry groups as well. And then on the sector side, technology is still underwhelming. Retail improved a little bit, and then industrial still, you know, somewhat, you know, not as strong as last week, but it's still strong in some sense. Health, surprisingly, it's been slowly coming back up a little bit. It was pretty much down last week. And then we have commodities and even energy for sure. Both of them are doing well this week and leading the market right now in those two areas. And financials are very weak on Friday. That's part of the reason why Russell sold off more than usual. Yeah. Right, let's take a look at the NYSE advanced decline daily line down here, right here, compared to the S&P 500 at the top here. So we came down recently, but looking at this advanced decline line, we actually didn't come down as hard as the index itself. And then right now we are bouncing back a little, so very similar action. On the Nasdaq, also pulling back more significantly recently to Tuesday here, and then here we see very similar action. But we did have make a new high on Thursday here, a new recent high here. So that is good news because you know, the index actually didn't make a new high yet. So basically what that means is that Nasdaq is broadening out a little bit in terms of strength. So that's a good sign. Give you a much wider net to catch something. So we'll see how that goes. Going into next week, we do have the FOMC meeting on Tuesday, Wednesday, I believe, and obviously Jerome Powell will be speaking at the conference, and also he'll be probably asked about his investigation into the cost of the Federal Reserve building and so forth. So those could be a market mover. And then we have conference board index, consumer index, and also durable goods coming out this week as well. And on Friday, we see the producer price index for December. On the earnings front, we have mega caps reporting: Tesla, Meta, Apple, Microsoft, and then we also have CLS, LRCX, and IBM reporting as well. So the 10-year yield jumped quite significantly on Tuesday to above, like, I think as high as 4.3 something percent, 4.311, and then we did pull back since then. So now we're back at this 200-day red black line moving average here. The dollar actually came down really hard this week, so that is very interesting. And the oil price right now is rebounding this week. You can see Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was a really reversal day, down day, and then Friday we have a huge gap up here. You know, so that's very interesting. A lot of oil and gas stocks actually move, so that's you know, help with the broader commodities and energy area. And here's gold making another new high here. Then we also have silver. Look at this run here. This is starting to look a little bit climatic, right? It's accelerating at a very fast pace right now. So you know, we could be running more, but I'm just saying this is, you know, definitely getting to near a level that is starting to become like, you know, kind of formal action, right? Fear of missing out. So we just want to be cautious. If you own it, definitely keep hold on to until, you know, whenever it comes back down. You can take some offensive profit at this moment as well. It's a really good gain. Copper also bounced back slightly on Friday here. Here's the coal index also making new high, like looking pretty strong. Here's uranium also bouncing back this week as well, also making new high, new recent high. This is Bitcoin. Bitcoin have kind of failed to break out here. Came back below the short-term moving average on Tuesday. Never really rebound much after that, so this is not looking good at this moment. Here's WenX Semiconductor ETF here. It is not much down here. Just it's been on a nice uptrend since the recent breakout right there. And we are up. Yeah, we are downward slightly, so not much of a movement there for the week. So we did come down on Tuesday. You see we found support at the green line there. And then Wednesday, Thursday, we went on and make intraday high. Friday, we did pull back though. We have a pullback there. But overall, for the week, it still looks pretty good. The biggest news was related to Intel. It report earnings, and it definitely did not make investors happy about it. Down 17%. So that was a huge dent on the general index there. But other stocks like AMD actually doing better. And you can see we continue to climb. This is the slope right now. We are very close to breaking out right here. It looks really good. And then we also see Nvidia starting to trying to make a move here. So it did kind of come, you know, out of this upper channel line here. So it just sneaked its little neck out here. So maybe it is possible for it to continue this run. We'll see. Because Tuesday we did come back down below the red line, but we did bounce back pretty quick here. So maybe this time it will work. We'll see. TSM is trying to come back. Also fall pretty hard on Tuesday. Right now it has bounced back Thursday and Friday. You know, it's not very decisive, the move. At least you know, volume is just at near average on Thursday and Friday. But we're getting close. If we, you know, bounce again, we probably would, you know, probably a good time to maybe take an entry point there. But again, that depends, like, you know, how it reacts the next couple of days here. Broadcom not doing that well. It's been finding resistance here, and now you can see it's starting to actually accelerate downward. So that's not a good sign. The software group continued to make lower lows here. It did bounce back Thursday, Friday, but we do have the 10-day and 21-day coming down really fast. So we'll see how it reacts around that area. Again, we have big cap reporting this week in the software group like Microsoft. So that could, you know, it did have a nice bounce on Friday. I'm not sure if there was any news, but that is a pretty nice bounce. So it's definitely, you know, show that it wants to move before the earnings result coming out in a few days here. So we'll continue to see. It has dropped a lot. So definitely, you know, we dropped below the black line here, which is 200-day moving average, and we dropped below the red line, which is coming down here at this level there. So yeah, it's hard to say. I think it's going to come down to the earnings, what they say about their prospects, and especially AI related stuff. And then we have Google. It didn't really bounce on Friday. That's the disappointing part. We were able to bounce back from Tuesday's drop, but very quickly Friday it brought it back down to near the 10-day again. So it's just not showing as much strength as I would like to see right now. Meta also have a good fall through day on Friday here. So this also went on a very long-term downtrend. It broke that. So this could be a good sign for them. Again, earnings also coming out this week. So maybe that will, you know, Meta is kind of known for making big move on earnings. So last time we did gap down right here. and then we gap up right there. So you know, it could go either way, it depends, right? So we'll see what happens. And we have Amazon here trying to bounce back here a little bit. It's still kind of not quite near the previous pivot point. So there's risk here, but well, we'll see what happens. This one also not reporting this week, it will be the week after. We turn our attention to Apple here. It is not doing well lately. Continue to make lower lows, and then the bounce are just mediocre, not much of a bounce. And we also have earnings coming out this week, so that will possibly move this stock one way or another. Here's Tesla. It is starting to bounce back. It did find support on Friday intraday here, so that's above the 10-day right now, so that is a good sign right here. See, this found support right there, and we're able to close somewhat near the top of the range, so that's also a good sign. This is trading very tight. Again, earnings are coming out this week, so it will move this stock for sure. Let's see how that goes. And then we did have Netflix reported. It wasn't a good reaction, at least especially at the beginning. So it was down quite a bit, but it did climb back at the end of day here, so it minimized its losses. And then Thursday we kind of came back down to trying to test the low point there, and then Friday we did bounce back though, so that's a good sign, but we're still below the this long-term trend line here. I would be more patient and just wait till it clear that at least. Alright, thank you for watching this video. I'll be coming out with the next video that talk about the growth stock list, and also a newer list with more recent earnings as well. So thank you for watching. I'll stay tuned for the next video. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.